Hey guys, how you doing? This is Manga etc. and I'm here today to bring you a Fairy Tail Zero discussion video for anime versus the manga. Which one does it better? So based on the differences between the two, the anime and the manga, I will decide for myself which one that I felt did the better job, which one that I feel was better because of the differences. So as we know, the manga consisted of 13 chapters and the anime consisted of 10 episodes. Well, technically, it was 9.5 because that first episode, only half of the episode was spent on Fairy Tail Zero. The rest of the first half of the episode was spent on just some filler scenes with Natsu and Happy. So, 13 chapters of a manga versus 9.5 episodes for the anime. Which one is better? So, episode 1 is chapter 1, and the first thing I want to talk about is how we lose a panel within the anime. There's a panel within the manga where we see Mavis with her mum and dad, and we lose this in the anime. She does mention them, but we don't get to see them, and I think this is a connecting moment for the audience and Mavis, which is lost within the anime. Also, within episode 1, we have a scene which has been added, and this scene is where Mavis has to bring Zara her lunch. Now, I think that this was a good move because on the way to bringing Zara her lunch, Mavis, we see the fairy tactician being developed from a very young age. It also adds weight to what Zara says at the end of the episode when she's saying that she's been horrible to Mavis because we see within the school scene where Zara pushes Mavis down. So I think adding this little scene was a good move so far. So moving on to episode 2, this episode consists of 2 episodes and it didn't really add anything. It was just the two manga chapters for the episode 2. So episode 2 consists of manga chapters 2 and manga chapter 3. So moving on to episode 3, sorry, this episode was completely filler, and because of this episode, if you was a manga reader going into the anime, you would have realized this from the get-go. But if you was an anime only watcher, by the end of the series, once you think about it, this episode actually causes a plot hole. Because Zira is not real, how is it that Yuri and Warrod was able to find Mavis? How would they have even known where she was? Because Zira is not there to actually tell them where she disappeared to. So episode 3, filler and causes a plot hole. Slightly big plot hole as well. Episode 4 adds scenes with Pritchett, the second fairy tale master. Before he gets to the bar, we see him talking to people. I think it was in a park, and just people, and more people trying to find out the information he's trying to find out. But it was during this time where we learn more about him as a character. So again, I think this was a good move for the anime. Episode 5 was basically manga chapter 5 word for word. In episode 6, we get more interactions with the citizens of Magnolia, and for me, this makes the situation of what was going on there with involving Blue Skull seem more serious. They also added to Warrod's fighting scene with him dodging the attacks, whereas within the manga it was just a simple punch. So within episode 7, we have the scene where Zarif and Mavis meet for the first time. I feel that this scene was better within the anime, probably only because of the addition of the background music, which made me feel more sorry for Zarif. Within the same episode, we get them learning magic. I prefer this in the anime as well because it made it seem like magic was something hard to learn as we see them training to utilize and learn their magic, where we didn't get this in the manga. Episode 8 was again 2 chapters of material, but it didn't really add anything. Nothing added, nothing gained from this episode. Episode 9 again is a episode that consists of 2 chapters worth of material. There's a scene where Mavis is thrown off Yuri, and I don't really understand why that was added because it doesn't add nothing to the story whatsoever. We get some more scenes that are added, and we see the citizens of Magnolia by Mavis's bedside when she's quote unquote ill, and it just shows that they cared about her, whereas in the manga that's just left up to speculation because we don't actually see them by her bedside and we don't get to see them talking about her either. Episode number 11, the final episode. Again, this was 2 chapters worth of material. Everything about the Zera leaving scene I just loved. I thought it was really beautiful. Then we had some scenes added where we have Mavis grieving slash coming to the realization of starting Fairy Tail again. These were in the manga, and it makes, because we get to see them in anime, it just makes the idea of Mavis wanted to start a wizarding guild less of a random thought. So this was a good anime adaptation. It wasn't stretched out and ruined in any shape or form, but which one do I think was better? In hindsight, when you're just looking at it, they're pretty much even. But when you get detailed and critical and analyze it, you got to give it to the anime. The anime, the little things that the anime added made it better than the manga. So for that reason, this battle has to go to the anime. The anime wins. So like always, guys, I'm asking for your thoughts and opinions. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. But most importantly, take care. Have a nice day.